Hey, everybody, what is up? This is the Sports Bar here at WTF Nation Radio. I am the actual King Smith, and we live April the 7th of the year of our Lord 2024, coming at you with all the things sportsin'. This show is hosted by two U.S. military veterans. I am an Air Force vet, and over here with this lovely face is my main man, Coach, who was a U.S. Army veteran. Coach, let the people know something.
What do you hear? What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? It is Sunday night. There is no major sports happening right now. The only thing on regular television right now is reruns of NCIS and a bunch of old folk shows. It's either time for us or time for Wrestlemania, and finding out what y'all are watching. It looks like it might be Wrestlemania for tonight. So, King, I'm doing great. How in the hell are you doing this fine Sunday evening?
Your boy tested positive for the beer virus last week, so I was knocked down and out for a couple of days, but we here tonight, baby. The show must go on. But I do want to
Seriously,
thank
how are you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. And I do want to thank everybody out there that sent me some well wishes and things like that. If I didn't respond back to you, it was because I was blessed with love from a lot of different people. So I may not have reached out to everybody, but I'm here. It can't knock me down, coach. So, it
We were
is what it
trying.
is, my man.
I was trying to make sure that the COVID was going to knock you out for this week either, because I wanted to make sure that I won the NCAA pool by the next time that we were live, not almost winning and having to worry about my ex-girlfriend's brother trying to win another national championship.
Hey, man. I love to hear it. Love to hear it. Now, we have an interesting show today. The show topics are in the description box. So we're going to get right into it. We aren't going to do any promo today because tonight's show might be a little bit long. And we also have a
Can
guest
you deal
on
with
our
that,
show.
Ice?
Yeah, Ice, deal with it. I I run this show.
Hey, King,
um,
I'm going to sign
yes.
off and sign back in.
Okay. We know why he does that. He does that because of a delay or something. So while he takes care of that, y'all, Phil Leach in the comment section that WrestleMania is already wild as F tonight. And that's going to be the first thing that we talk about. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not somebody that follows WrestleMania and the storylines like that. So I reached out to a dear friend of mine, and he is backstage about to come on now. He talked all things about the history of WrestleMania on his channel yesterday called Grooming and Reviews on One. He went into the history of WrestleMania. So I figured this would be the right person to bring on to talk about WrestleMania this weekend. And lo and behold, my main man, Peter, the ghost of Sparta himself. How you doing, brother?
What up? What do you got to cooking tonight?
Hey man, I'm glad that you were able to come on and talk about WrestleMania. I'm gonna make you the big camera here. So we're on WrestleMania 40. You can
Got
find
flex
it
my muscles now.
live right now on Peacock. You have to have a premium Peacock
That's correct.
subscription to be able to watch it. What do you think about the decision to have it streaming on Peacock? Tell us a little bit about what happened yesterday and what should people look forward to tonight.
All right. Last night, we had the first match was Ripley versus Becky. In Becky's defense, she was running, she was fighting and or wrestling, or how you want to put it down, with strep throat, 110 degree fever. So I gotta give her props for getting that match still. But unfortunately, she lost that match. The second match was the Intercontinental Champion. Gunter was the broke the record 366 days ongoing. So they're finally from Zayn actually took it. Then we had Judgment Day versus IDY and versus Awesomes. If Judgment Day won, simple as that. They're good cheaters, they're good winners. Unfortunately, now the match that was way underperformed from a lot of people was Jey Uso versus Jim Uso. Twin brothers going at it. They're trying to break them out to the individual characters. Unfortunately, Jay took that away from them. Then we had uh what was the other match? Rey Mysterio and then Rey Mysterio won the match. The one that I want to hit really hard is Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. That was way over than was supposed to be, and it was given credit where it's due. But they're calling The Rock the final boss for a reason. He was flexing his muscle as the one of the board members. He looked at the ref like, if you fucking call this shot, I'm firing you on the spot. I'm like, oh shit, a different kind of Rock. I like it.
Yeah.
Going at it. The predictions was 99.9% Cody was going to win that match. It
Okay.
actually was a twister. The Rock and Roman win. So going in tonight, we have a bloodline rules championship, meaning the bloodline, his little groupies, can get in and interfere of the match at any time. So Cody has his hands full. What I'm hearing rumors on the street right now, they have a special guest coming in to, give Cody a little backup. So the rumor on the street is Cody is going to probably walk away with a champion tonight, but I'm not sure yet. That is the rumor right now. But that's the main event tonight. That'll be the last event. That's the only way we'll find out is tonight. So if you were looking for some extreme and some exciting wrestling, it hasn't happened in years. Tonight is the night you want to tune in.
Okay. Now, I have it up on my phone here as we're live right now. The quality looks fantastic. Have you ever been to a professional WWE style presentation?
Unfortunately, I haven't. I always wanted to go, but always something happened. I couldn't go. But I hear a lot of stuff. And believe it or not, a little side note, most of those wrestlers who wrestle with the big shots do have to pay for their own entry to come in.
Yeah, yeah. So that I actually did know. I don't know a lot about WWE, WWF, but that I did know. I went to one courtesy of VetTix. Shout out to them. They
Mhm.
aren't sponsoring us or anything, but as a veteran, I am able to use VetTix, and I am going to plug it and say that if you are eligible, take a look at VetTix. They have some fantastic sporting things on there. But I went to one for the first time down in Washington, DC. And brother, let me tell you, the energy in that place, the theatrics and stuff, I was like, yo, I've been missing this because this is fun as shit. So if you get the opportunity to go to one, definitely do. Phil said that this event tonight was 2K per ticket. Would you pay for
I'm not
something like
surprised.
that?
I'm not surprised. It's facts. So WrestleMania
Damn.
we're 40 years into it now. So let's give credit where it's due. As much he's a scumbag, what he has done in his private life, but Vince McMahon is insane creative. Meaning, what he comes up with, his ideas, Jesus Christ, is good at it. This is his baby. He started I remember with bringing Mr. T in or Andre the Giant.
Hmm.
The my one of the best matches that debatable, of course, was Hogan with Macho Man, for example, or the tag teams. There were so many history. My favorite match in WrestleMania, Rock versus Hogan. WrestleMania 18, I think, was one of the best WrestleManias we ever had. Again, it's debatable, of course. Or a lot of people said the Undertaker's streak, why was it broken at then? It was a lot of debates there. But you cannot go wrong when it's what originally we started with one night. They didn't have this pre-show. We didn't have this stuff like meet to greets or anything like that. Now it's a 2 nights, meet to greets. These wrestlers, when they get there to Philly, I'm using Philly example, of course, at this week, it does not stop. It's go, 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 go. You understand? The story doesn't end there. It just begins.
Mm.
So WrestleMania opens a bigger door for a bigger picture. People don't understand, like, oh, end of the story. Bye. Have a good night and go on vacation. No, you're just starting your story. If you're a full timer, your story just begins. Even Roman, he's a part timer, but his story doesn't end there. It just begins there. So you have a few people like Brock Lesnar who took like 6 months off. We don't count him. He's out of the picture. He's a horrible fighter anyway. He's out of the picture. But if you're counting somebody else like Roman Reigns, The Rock, Seth Rollins, I can go on and on. All these guys, they're full timers. The story gets better after WrestleMania. It gets the best is right now. And now it's the time to be a good fan. And a good time now because we're going back. in a different era. We left the PG era. The PG era is completely dead. We're going back to, I call it Attitude 2.0.
Okay.
Have you? The reason I say that now, Rock finally busted Corey's up. He's cursing him out. He's throwing the F bomb. He's doing all this stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, we're going back to this.
I've seen some of
Okay,
the
I
clips.
can
Yes,
dig this.
yes. I've seen some of the
I
clips.
can.
I was actually a little bit surprised because The Rock
Mhm.
has a brand, right? He has a certain brand. He has this like I'm a badass brand, as well as I don't know. Like I've never seen him take it just too far, but some of the stuff I saw, I was like, ooh, that's definitely The Rock kicking it up a notch. Like they were filming a promo, but he was like, I don't give a F about these cameras. Like, we're gonna go hard here. And if you're not gonna give it your all, then like I don't want to. I thought that was really good. Two other things for you here. How do you think The Rock is staying and do what he does at the age of 51?
Oh, that's a
I know
debate.
if
That's
I
a
was doing what he was doing, I need somebody to pick me up and bathe me the next day. How is he able to do all of this at 51?
so. I'm gonna throw some hot bowls on you guys now. So it depends because you have a couple ways to do this. One, he has a healthy diet. He has all these good doctors, stuff, and he's also in the needle that he's probably on. People have proven who are on the needle, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
It's he doesn't have abs for a reason. People who are listen, he needs to find a way to recover fast because of his heavy workouts, his heavy impact wrestling, heavy impact career. He does most of his stunts. So what is he on to recover so fast? That is the question. He's on something. He's not natural, straight up. Um, how long can he put this up? I don't know. Eventually, Dr. Age or Dr. Time is going to catch up to him.
Okay. And final thing, brother, give your prediction for tonight.
The one I am mostly because I don't have the heck. Let me pull out the card up. I'll tell you right now because I don't remember all the matches off my head. Give me 1 second to pull that because that one I was not prepared for. My bad. Here it is.
While you do that, I'm gonna link your. So you talked about the history of Mania. I think y'all did catch that. Go check out him and some. They're real fans. Pete's taking a look at the um, card, and he's gonna give us his prediction, and then we're gonna get to our next story for today. I'm gonna need for you to not have that AOL dial up, Pete.
Hey, at least I know. At least I'm on OBS, not Streamyard, so I don't want to talk shit there
Oh,
for you.
oh man. Oh man. I tell you what, if you
Like
can't find
because
it,
at least according to one of our friends, I'm doing at least mine doesn't crash us every too often. Oh, and by the way, f you because you gave me your king bad luck on my streams the last couple nights.
ha,
So last time was the best one I had in a while. So
good
when I
deal.
see you, I'm gonna slap your whole head so hard you could grow hair again.
Man, why do you have to be that way, man? Why you gotta bring violence? Yeah.
I'm
Hey, I
not
tell
being
you
right.
what,
I'm being
man, if you
straight
can't
up with you.
find it,
Damn.
don't
Well, the
worry
one I
about
will
it. I
tell you
know.
for a fact, my
Oh,
prediction
let's see.
is, like I said earlier, is Roman Reigns the champion night. Is going to be here. It is okay. So we have. They're saying right now during these rumors, Roman's going to come out a champ. I disagree. I think Cody's coming out. Somebody's going to interfere that match for the
Okay.
heavyweight. Seth Rollins versus Drew. I think Seth is going to win that hands down. Because they need to.
Got you.
The reason is Drew McIntyre has not renewed his contract. If they're not going to put a belt on somebody whose contract is not renewed yet, that is a big factor. Let's keep that in mind. So the women champion, so Sky versus Bailey. I think Sky is going to walk back with it. Now, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. That is a three-way on me. I think they're going to keep the belt on Paul because of his brother's match. That's gonna kind of start some kind of momentum with WWE and boxing and everything. Now, Bobby Lester versus Street Profits. I think Bobby's going because they're building him momentum again to get him back up to the main roster again, get him up to a AAA card level again because he fell down a little bit lately. So, and the last one, AJ Styles versus LA Knight. That is a 50-50 with me. The reason is 50-50 is because I feel right now either one can win because they're both very popular. Now, AJ is the first time he's a heel, not a baby face. But a lot of people are pushing LA Knight. And like he was naturally built, not W didn't build him. He was naturally built up. So either way, so come your comments on if you see something. So we already know Bobby won. We already know Seth lost. I'm very surprised Seth lost on that one. I'm very surprised.
Yeah,
So
I'm reading about it now.
yeah, LA Knight. That's a 50-50 one. But the one we should all keep eye on is definitely the heavyweight champion with not heavy. I'm sorry, the Universal champion. I think it's called now. Yeah, the Universal with
Yeah,
Roman because that can go either way.
Cody
That's
and
the one I'm
Roman
curious about.
Reigns.
That's one I'm curious
Okay,
about. To be honest with you. So let's see
okay,
how this goes. So
awesome. All right. Hey, Pete, man, thanks for coming on and giving us some commentary here at WTF Nation Radio, brother. We'll be glad to have you back on, man, anytime in the future, brother.
definitely, I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys.
All right.
All right,
Peace.
bye.
All right, Coach. We had some comments come in, and I want to acknowledge those comments before we continue on to our next segment. Shout out to Heath Barlow
No
said,
problem.
"Hello, all. What up, Heath? I appreciate you tuning in." My boo thing, Michelle Early, who's right over here next to me, said, "Let's go." Thank you, thank you. Heath also said, "I've been listening to college baseball in the local FM. USM has been sucking this season. Yikes." All right. Phil
Yeah.
was giving us some commentary about WWE moving to Netflix, and he gave us some updates over
Yep.
the weekend. Said Rollins lost, then dashed Money in the Bank and won. Then Lashley just won with Bubba Ray as the rep, and that's the recap so far. Thank you. Like I said, I'm unfamiliar with wrestling, but I definitely wanted to cover it. I've got it up just below me here right now, and but because I don't follow wrestling, I don't know anybody. I still didn't want to have our sports show and not talk about one of wrestling's biggest event. Uh,
Oh, if I can go back to 5 years ago from tonight, I'd be laughing my ass off that I didn't know what the hell was happening. That's all I'm gonna say.
Phil Lee said that.
Especially on this channel.
Mhm. That when a WrestleMania ends one storyline, it starts a new storyline between the wrestlers, and that's what Pete was talking about a little bit earlier. And when I asked about how The Rock's able to stay in shape and do everything, he said he takes his vitamins just like what the Hulkster used to tell us,
Shit.
brother.
You remember that movie Pain and Gain?
No, no. That
Okay,
was the one with
Rock and Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark. Yes,
Rock and Mark
I've
Wahlberg.
seen it, but it's been a long time.
All right. Yeah. What you don't realize right before that is that The Rock was detained for having human growth hormone right before, like during the
Oh,
filming of that. As he was an actor, it was not seen as an issue, much in the same way that Sly Stallone had human growth hormone and it wasn't an issue. At that point, The Rock had not come back to the WWE, but he was preparing to come back. And then when he came back, that's what he looked like. So he was able to circumvent the system on that. Now, let's also be quite honest here. The Rock also hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, and it's been 8 years since The Rock was last in a ring before he came back this time. He has not been subject to any type of any drug testing whatsoever. He hasn't done any of that other stuff, and that's part of the reason why The Rock's still able to go at this day
hey
and
man,
age.
absolutely. And look, if I had the Rock money, I'm pretty sure I'd be in the Rock shape too, just not as tall. But you
Oh
know
yeah.
what? This bald head is still just as handsome. At least I got one person sitting over here who would say that. And she shook her head
Uh,
yes.
yeah. Now, and look, I've got to say this about Pete. Look, this is part of the reason why I'm no longer a wrestling fan. Yeah, he can bring up as much as he wants about Vince McMahon, but I will again bring up something we did an entire year ago. He paid more to keep freaking sexual assault and sexual harassment down than he did for WCW. Just let that sink
Man,
in. Please just
if
let
we
that sink
had
in.
more time, I was going to talk about that because I'm familiar with that story and I've been actually keeping up with it. And I'm like, ooh, like I want to talk about it so
But
bad.
Vince is not part of the company anymore. Vince isn't part of the
Yeah.
company anymore. But at that same time, too, just because he's part of the company doesn't mean it didn't ruin
Hmm.
a product. And I can't justify saying that, something like that is something that I would actually, put my money into.
So I'm looking down below and LA Knight just won his match. And there are a lot of people surprised, but apparently that is LA Knight's first WrestleMania um championship or victory, I should say. So
Victory.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yep. Yep. And Phil Leach just confirmed it. LA Knight just won. I looked down right as he got that last 3 count. Um, have you been keeping up with what's been going on with Sean Diddy Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka Take That, Take That?
Oh yeah, 2024 is turned into P Diddy. 2023 was I don't remember what celebrity did we end up sending to jail during that
Ooh.
year. That might have been Donald Trump. 2022 was Cosby, or no, was R. Kelly. 2021 was Cosby. Yeah, so this year is Diddy. Yeah, I've been following that shit. Yeah, I feel bad for Kesha when she sang that song. Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Oh dear God, what were you feeling underaged and feeling abused by? Oh
You
God, let's just not get going on that.
So, why am I bringing this up on a sports show, you ask? Well, there's been a lot of clips that's been surfacing of Puff Daddy's actions and things very publicly throughout the years. And since he was a mega star, right? There's clips of him doing interviews going as far as back over the last 20, 30 years. And I just want you to take a look at this because it features Mike Tyson on a couch with Puff Daddy, and just watch what old Mike Tyson does here in this clip.
It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh yes, he's glittering.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Well, now when we come back, we're gonna talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right, we'll be right back with more right after.
It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
So let me see if I can change this up here, make that a little bit bigger, and then swap this over here on this side. There we go. See how he grabs his hand? That's Mike Tyson
Mm-hmm.
grabbing Puff Daddy's hand, like, bruh, I don't want your hand right there. What was Puff Daddy doing that convinced Mike Tyson on this looks like one of the Wayans brothers. I didn't know that the Wayans had a talk show.
Damon Wayans had a talk show way back in the 90s.
And
Yeah, I remember
then
that.
take a look at how Mike then adjusted how he was sitting. He did it all with a smile, right? And then he changed his whole angle to like, man, I don't want your hand by my butt cheeks. And then they went to commercial, and that was that. But like, what made Mike do this? What was Puff Daddy doing with his hands that made Mike, who was known for just going off on random people, to politely move this man's hand and then change his angle for the rest of that sit down? Like, nah, man, there's somebody that wrote in the comments on Facebook, hashtag no Diddy. That's that's became the new thing for 2024. No Diddy. Instead of saying pause, you just say no Diddy. I can't believe he
Now,
would try this on
you
Mike.
know what? I mean, I could say the reason why. I mean, it's a very simple reason why. During this time, was Biggie still alive?
I'm not entirely too sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might
'Cause
have
I'm not
been, but even with that, Puffy was getting shot left and right. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to be right there. Remember, Puffy almost got killed with Jennifer Lopez on New Year's
mm.
Eve. He didn't want to be seen around here with that pervert. But look, he put his hand right back down in the same place, though. Puffy had his hand right there at the same place, and then Puffy put his hand back down in the same damn place.
And look what
So
Mike did.
I
Mike
don't know.
then said, "Okay, I'm going to adjust myself then because if you're going to put your hand right back down, I'm just going to sit at the edge of this couch right here until this is over with."
I'm gonna sit in a stance where I can go ahead and throw the right hook if you fuck with me.
Mhm. Let's see.
Am I still on delay?
I don't know. You'd have to tell me. It's hard for me to tell if there's a delay or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it is. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're good.
Okay. And before we go to our next one, I always want to acknowledge the people that take the time to comment. So Phil Leach said, "It's basically performance art. Every wrestler has a writer and a producer for their matches. Producers are usually retired wrestlers, and writers sometimes come from Hollywood. Freddie Prince Jr. used to be a writer." Okay, that's good to know. Hey, I love the performance of it. Like I said, when I went to that event in Washington, D.C., man, I felt so energized during, throughout, and afterwards when it was done that I was like, man, I would definitely come back. And what's that tall drink of water now? Looks like we were having some connection issues, but we back. Coach, can you confirm? Okay,
Yeah, am I
yep, it
back?
looks like we are back.
Oh, damn, what the hell happened? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I ain't sure what's going on, but we gon' the show must go on. All right. Phil Leach also said that people say that Mives is violent. That proves that he can hold his cool. I don't know who Mives is.
I think he meant
Oh,
Mike.
Mike Tyson. Yes, thank you.
Mike
Thank you for
Tyson,
filling
yeah.
in the blanks. That Mike Tyson's violent, but that right there that proves that he can hold his cool.
I think that's a given.
Hey man,
That's like asking if water's
for
wet.
real. I was whew. Huh. All right. Let's go to the fact that March Madness is over. If you were watching some of the games
Oh, not
today,
over.
well,
Tomorrow night it's over. Somebody's here still has a
you
chance
you
for
you're
tomorrow,
right.
so
Almost over. Now,
Yep.
before we talk about the men's title, I do want to say congratulations to Coach Staley and the ladies over at South
Mhm.
Carolina. If I were putting money on them to win, even though they came into this only having lost 3 games over the last 3 seasons, I still would have said that there's no way that the bookies or the writers, because I was watching where the money was at. The money was on Iowa and Caitlin Clark. Yet South Carolina said, we're the stronger team and we will prevail. And that is exactly what they did. So I want to take time to make sure that we acknowledge the ladies over there at South Carolina, their coach and that program, in an impressive run this season. They were the 10th undefeated national champions over the
Mhm.
history of women's college basketball.
Dawn Staley has put together a dynasty just like the one that she came from Tennessee when Pat Summitt was in her prime. And as of right now, if you, and I know the money was on Iowa, everybody kept is falling in love with Caitlin Clark and et cetera, et cetera. And I really do think that people really should have realized that South Carolina was absolutely no joke whatsoever. Everybody has been had their eyes right on Caitlin, and need be, but South Carolina has been this dominant this whole season. It's almost the same thing as UConn, where every single person has, gone out and said this is UConn's to lose. And everybody, we'll just say Edie. Edie has been the player of the tournament, not at Caitlin Clark's level, but we're seeing it right there versus one person against an entire team, and that's what South Carolina has. That's what Dawn Staley was able to bring this season, and congrats on an undefeated season. Hopefully next year the recruiting and everything goes different, and we have some competition going back up there again.
And I do want to correct myself to make sure that I say this right. So when I say that the money was on Iowa, Vegas had South Carolina favored, but when you looked at where that people were
Mm-hmm.
actually betting their money, the money was on
Ah.
um Caitlin Clark and Iowa. And look, I almost feel bad, coach. I mean, look, Caitlin's one of the best players over the last couple of years, and she just can't seem to win one. But hey, it's a team sport.
But exactly. Basketball's always been a team sport, and unless it's one person in a once in a lifetime type of thing, there was no way it was going to be. There was no way that they were going to be stopped, and they did not get stopped. That's what I got.
Nope. Taking a look at the stats, Iowa went 39.7% from the field, 39% as well
Mhm.
from threes. They were 9 of 23, while South Carolina, whoa, way more impressive, 47.9% from the field, and they went 42% from free throw, making 8 of 19. Where they were worse at was if they went to the line, they were 9 of 17 from the line, which is 52.9%. Where Iowa, whenever they went to the line, they went 16 of 20. Maybe Iowa could have coached a little bit better, sit them ladies to the line and say, beat us here. Try and manage the players and them getting fouled, but they wasn't having an impressive night shooting from the line. So maybe a smarter coach could have saw that and made that adjustment.
You know what? I kind of agree with that. But again, it was the entire team. There was no way that South Carolina was going to be denied this year, and even the great Caitlin Clark couldn't do this. Now, I am looking forward to what's going to happen next with Caitlin Clark because she has a precedence that's been set, and unfortunately, it's going to bring up a very unpopular issue with the precedent that she set. That and one league or whatever the one is that Ice
The big
Cube's
three.
got, the 3-on-3, the
Mhm.
big three. Okay, not and one, big three. I knew it was something in a number. Uh, and one's the brand. Damn, that's right. So the big three and one was also at one point a basketball league. I do remember that. That was a street ball league at one point. But $5 million Ice
I
Cube offered.
heard that. I looked it up to see if it was true. 100% true.
It's 100% true, and I hate to say this, she ain't gonna get that at the
No.
WNBA. And the WNBA desperately needs her. They even with Ionosco and all of the other WNBA stars that you're pulling, you're trying to put in. You've got lightning in a bottle with Caitlin Clark right now because of everything that she's got going on. Don't let it be another disappointment like it has been with several other players.
Man, I thought that was I was like, there's no way that Ice Cube offered that. But then if you check out all the smoke podcast that's hosted by former NBA players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they brought on Ice Cube to talk about it and verify if it was true. And Ice Cube said, we definitely offered her a multi-million-dollar deal to come over and play ball here at the Big Three. And I'm like, she should take
Yep.
that.
Oh yeah.
She should
Completely.
take that. Because I
Completely.
mean, is she going to get drafted as the number one player? Yes. I don't think she is the number one player.
Well, I mean, she's the number one player in this year's draft out of everybody out
You
there
think
because she,
so?
no matter
Let me
what's
see.
going to
What do
happen
you
on the
what do you
team, yeah, I think so. I mean, even the girl from LSU, I think she's a solid number 2, but no, I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's any shadow of a doubt she's the best player.
Man, give me Camila Cardoso if she's
All right,
coming out.
all right, all right. Let me go with this and kind of say it in this sense right here. You had a chance right now for Steph Curry, or you had Steph Curry to draft him and develop him, or you have a chance for Jokic, or well, I mean, I'm going to say another big man because that's kind of the woman from LSU, how she plays. Let's just say another David Robinson. All right, let's just say that because it would be equivalent. Who would you go for? Would you go for Steph? Would you go for David
Oh
Robinson?
man, am I trying to sell tickets or win championships?
See, there we go. There we go. Whichever your team needs. Ever wonder why Jordan went number 3 instead of going number
Yeah.
2 or number 1? There you go. It had to do with need, and it had to do with what the person had. So I would definitely say that Caitlin Clark's going to be number 1. Yeah.
All right. What do you think about the
Yeah, brother.
men's championship? We've got Purdue, which is, the darling of this year. They came in as a number 1, going up against UConn. Purdue's 34-4, UConn's 36-3. I had Purdue in the national championship as well as winning. I didn't have them playing against UConn. I want to say I had Arizona, I believe. But Purdue was my pick to win the national championship this year.
All right, these are the 2 teams that have been the best throughout the entire college basketball season, bar none. Regardless of whatever happened within the Big East, Purdue was great for this entire year. They only lost three or four times. Same thing with UConn. UConn has the best coach in college basketball right now with Danny Hurley. Okay. I'm not going to go on about anything else with the Hurley family. So I will say that they have been coached up. They brought it great, and he was able to recruit the players to play as a team. That big 7-2 goof that's right there in the middle of against at UConn, Gillard, I think is his name is. He's going to be a great matchup for Edie. And on top of that, it's going to have to be the other players from Purdue that I think is going to have to make it. Edie is going to get his 20 and 10, but to limit him and his touches and his presence inside and make him fight for those 10, or make sure that they're only on defensive rebounds where you are in the head, that's where that thing is going to end up being. And I will state this. In the pool that I am in, I only had 2 teams in the finals from the beginning. That was my A, that was my B. It was UConn and Purdue, UConn winning it. If I win this, I kid you not, I will be the winner of my NCAA pool if UConn wins. I am going up against another person who I am 2 points ahead of that also has UConn, but we have somebody who is 4 points behind us that has Purdue that could jump ahead and win the pool that
Good
we're in.
luck, my man. I'm second in mine, but I'm playing against somebody who I think I'm 16 points behind. He has both teams in the championship, but I picked Purdue, he picked UConn. So I'm not sure if I can jump him in points.
Now it all depends. It all depends on what the points are for your final game. Like for me, I go off of a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 as far as that. So I have an insurmountable lead, even if that if the person gets Purdue and gets 11, I end up in second place. But it all depends on that last game. Like if you are X number of points behind, and let's just say, what are you, 16
Yep.
behind right now? And let's just say that's a 20-point game. You might be the winner. If it's a 10-point game, I don't know. But it just all depends on how your league played it, and I don't know how they play that final game.
All right. Well, hey, taking a look at the matchup predictors right now, the ESPN bet odds have
Ooh.
UConn favored by 7.5 points, a total point
Mhm.
spread. I'm sorry, total of 146.5. But if you scroll down further a bit, that game, which tip off is tomorrow, Monday night at 9:20 Eastern, over on TBS,
Mhm.
145.5 for the point total, with UConn favorite by 6.5 points. Like I said,
King, I got something I gotta
uh-oh,
freaking say too about this cable
uh-oh.
bullshit. Okay, no. I'm at wit's end with cable
So am
television
I.
right now. Okay, now I am freaking tired of damn basic freaking television not having stuff on it instead of having bullshit on it. Now, I granted there might be some people that love the PGA Tour. There might be some people that think that the United Football League might actually be great. Okay? But it's freaking a Sunday night. The only thing that's on right now is on Wrestlemania on a freaking streaming platform. Okay? Like not even the most popular one, like the 10th most popular one. And on top of that, everything is on cable. Today's freaking game, the Sunday night baseball game. There's nothing else on broadcast TV except for 60 Minutes and old fuck TV shows on CBS. Well, guess what? There's no baseball on. It's on fucking ESPN, not on ABC. ABC's got America's Funniest Douchebags or whatever the hell else comes on Sundays. And then this game, the NCAA championship. It's on freaking TNT or TBS or, one of them. Why is it not on CBS? You mean to tell me that I need to watch NCIS Los Angeles or NCIS Hawaii or NCIS your sister's asshole instead of freaking watching Danny Hurley going up and coaching against Purdue and the big lurch looking motherfucker in Zach Edey? Come on now. What the hell? What in the hell? NASCAR moving to Fox Sports 1. Instead, you're showing the freaking United Football League. Who in the fuck watches? We're a sports show and we have no idea the United Football League.
I do.
Okay, I know more. I know you do because you prepare and all this shit. You even freaking watch the WNBA. All right, but let's be quite honest here. There is ridiculous crap happening because of these streaming platforms and cable television, specifically with freaking Major League Baseball. And I don't care if we're losing freaking fall. I'm pissed off at Major League Baseball. I'm pissed off at the basketball. I'm pissed off at these regional sports networks. Every single one of them have screwed up this whole entire thing where all I want to do is go to one fucking place that I don't have to pay an arm and a damn leg for. Remember a freaking passcode that has to have 14 numbers, an apostrophe, and can't be any of the last 34 passwords that I had used, just so that I could watch a simple damn baseball game during the middle of the fucking day. Put it back on free TV. What the hell is wrong with you? You smell enough commercials left and right. For crying out loud, people that come over from England don't want to watch American TV. You know why? Because there's more commercials on there, and everything that you see is a damn commercial. There's commercials within commercials, and then when you look at the damn thing, everything's got a sponsorship logo on there. For fuck's sake, even the Yankees uniform, the most pristine fucking uniform on the face of the earth, has logos on it so that you can see it on television that nobody is watching because you don't put it on the fucking right places for people to watch. Like the goddamn NCAA tournament. You fucking greedy cocksucking broadcasting douche nugget fucking people. $2,000 for freaking Wrestlemania tickets. You know what? 5 years ago, when I went over in Giant Stadium, you know how much I paid for my tickets?
For how many
$249.
people?
200 and for per ticket. So it was 250 per
Oh,
ticket. I bought 3 tickets.
oh,
Oh, no, this was also a one-day thing, okay? $2,000 for fucking tickets to fucking WrestleMania, and then if not, oh, you can stream it on the,
Peacock.
fucking Peacock, okay? Who the fucking Peacock? Oh, Jesus Christmas Christ.
All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
Any more fucking streaming networks I gotta get on? Apple TV Plus? Amazon Prime, fucking put it on damn CBS. Give me some rabbit ears, you dumb bastard.
I'm going to show a video, Coach, that might calm you down. Depends
Oh
on how you
God,
feel
yes. Let's
about
see it. I
China.
need it.
Now, one of these days,
Well, whoever. Well, I don't care who's in president because China still sucks regardless.
let's take a look at this clip right here. They are killing the basketball game. It's not gonna. I hate the way this works sometimes. Let's run that back because I thought
Yeah.
that I was like, man, these kids are a lot more coordinated than kids I know. Look at it. Like it's not like they're counting and getting physical activity. We need to go back to that here in the U.S. Look at the accuracy. Hey man, I wouldn't be surprised if if we grab the next Steph Curry out of China.
Well, I mean, I could just get into all types of politics right now and get us canceled on this show, so I'm going to refrain from speaking.
All right. Now, the next story that I have here, we've talked about the NIL deals. That's name, image, and likeness
Mhm.
that has transformed college sports all around. It's been some good and it's been some bad that have came out of it. And one of the stories that is interesting, speaking of Purdue and Lurch, Zach Edey. Zach Edey is Canadian. He
Mhm.
is probably one of the most wider known figures that have came out of March Madness because of A, his play, but B, just how big the dude is.
Yeah.
Hashtag no Diddy. And he's missing out on profits because according to this article written by John Weifers of ESPN, since he's Canadian and is at Purdue on a student visa, he is not legally allowed to make any profits through NIL deals that take place in America. All right. But there
Mhm.
are loopholes. For example, he can accept money, he can accept NIL money if the work that led to that money was done elsewhere. And I find this stupid. Okay. So he can do NIL deals when he's back home in Canada, or if his team or Purdue travels anywhere internationally. But anything that's done in the States, he can't make money off of. All right. He said Friday that he can make money from jersey sales, which he describes that as passive income, but that's it. He can't go film a commercial somewhere in the States and be able to profit off of that. That's insane when you ask me.
Yep.
And he's expressed that he hopes that the law will eventually be revised to allow international players the opportunity to make money on domestic soil. And it's not an NCAA rule, it's American law.
Um, yeah, that is American law. They do have the special provision because they have their own governance. It's the part of the antitrust law suit that the NCAA and the government doesn't have to, be in. Basically the government doesn't have to tell the NCAA how to operate. But that being said, this is something that I bet when everything was drafted, nobody had ever really had thought of because the vast majority of the people that are coming to there to be student athletes are already American citizens. So that being said, I can guarantee you that this was one of those instances that nobody had thought of, and Zach Edey is just big enough to bring that type of loophole. That is something that has to be negotiated at the NCAA level, because if not, we're going to have to get Congress involved in this. And if Congress gets involved in it, that means it's not going to happen unless, some transit. Never mind. I'm just not going to get started. Fucking politics.
I find it interesting. Some people need to be the trendsetters, just like how Johnny Money Manziel is. And I think every NIL athlete should thank two people: Johnny Manziel and Reggie Bush. Those are the two people
And
who
Ed
should be
O'Bannon.
thanked.
And Ed O'Bannon.
Because who?
Ed
Ed
O'Bannon.
O'Bannon. I'm unfamiliar with.
Ed O'Bannon was the 95 UCLA team captain. He saw his image being used on the EA Sports NCAA
Mhm.
basketball game. He sued because they did not use because they used his likeness for it, and that's what made it to the Supreme Court that got through the NIL deal.
Hey, Ed O'Bannon, Johnny Manziel, and Reggie Bush. Current athletes that are able to take advantage to thank those three members right there.
Oh yeah, completely.
All right,
Completely.
let's inject some humor into this. We are a show produced by veterans. All right, we have a primarily veteran audience, and a supporter of the show sent me this clip, and I'm like, oh, we have to play this. So when you think of the Marines, right, devil dogs, you typically think of just
Mhm.
bad assery. And side note, my lady and I, we went to the National Museum of the Marines, whatever it's called, or something like that.
Mhm.
And because it's
Yeah, right down
right down
95.
95 in Quantico, and they
Yep.
have a fantastic museum with a lot of history there. There's two sections that I was interested in that were closed down that are scheduled to reopen again. I want to say the guy said either September or November. It was a month that had a BER at the end of it. And it was a part of the stuff that I was deployed to. So I did several missions in OIF and OEF. And that was the section that I was really interested in going to, but it was closed down. But the rest of the stuff was open. And so it was nice being able to go there, see some of that history. I learned a couple of things while I was there too, and I want to say thanks and give a shout out to a lot of the volunteers that were working there, because you can tell that they were prior devil dogs themselves. So if y'all are in or near the Quantico area, definitely go check that out. But this was sent to me.
The the other section that was closed was the history of
Oh
crayons.
man, my soundboard's not working. Otherwise, I would have played an effect for that one. If y'all don't know what that means, keep watching our shows and you will learn what that means. But somebody said the video, and it was a bodybuilder versus a Marine, and it's like, who do you think is going to win? And they were doing a competition for deadlifts. Now, I'm hoping that the music in the background doesn't get us struck in. So I'm gonna turn the volume down a bit, and we're gonna play the video.
Nice. Clean.
All right, and oh look, he has to take off his shirt and show his muscles.
Oh my gosh.
Now that Marine's showing off a bit, because instead of doing just one rep, he does two reps. 4 5, nothing.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Ike.
Ike, big tall bodybuilder. He struggled to get that.
Here we go. Jeez, dude.
Yeah. 5:15. Nope. Now, some people were saying, look how tall this dude is, right? He has a longer way to go to bring that weight up versus the Marine, who is significantly shorter, that doesn't have that far of a lift. Now, I'm not a guy that knows the physics of deadlifting, but I have deadlifted in the past, right? And I'm also a compact built guy like this guy is here on the screen. So for me, I didn't have that far to go when deadlifting. And your boy back in my I think my one rep max for deadlifting was like 495. I was strong back in, yeah, bro.
Damn.
Hey, I was strong back in the day. Do you think that this bodybuilder's height gave him a disadvantage when doing this?
Uh, all right. I would say no, and here is my reasoning why. The former world record holder from the for the deadlift, if I am correct, used to be was the guy the one who played not the Hound, the freaking the giant from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
All right, if anybody's out there, yes. Okay, so he played that in Game of Thrones, and sometime during COVID, he ended up deadlifting 1,000 pounds. Dude's also 6 foot frickin' eight. So I don't give the height thing anything for it. What I'm giving that is muscle functionality versus show versus utilization. We've seen people that can do 100 push-ups and are as thin as a rail. We can see people who are built like this jarhead over here, and are able to do power type of moves and have that type of functionality. But we can also see people here with the body of Adonis that don't build for strength but build for show. The functionality of his muscles aren't there for the power, they're there for the growth and for the show and the display. The Marine's muscles are being utilized for functionality, much in the same way that a athlete, let's just use two people with same body types, a heavyweight boxer and a weightlifter. A heavyweight boxer may be able to press more than a what's it called than a regular lifter, but the physique of the regular lifter looks 50 times better. Prime example is what you see right in front of you right now.
okay. I was not surprised by this at all. We used to have this saying and this joke. So if we were a bunch of Air Force guys and there were a couple of Army guys around, we are like, hey, look, if stuff pops off, we can handle ourselves against a bunch of the Army guys. We said if we were around a bunch of Marines and stuff broke off, look, they got it. We just gonna say, hey man, y'all got it because they just don't know how to quit. You could win, like you could be winning, and they're just not going to quit. I don't have that much time and energy in my life to stomp on somebody and they still get up. No,
Oh yeah.
you win. Let's see. We got two more stories and then we're gonna shut it down for the night. I want to first of all thank everybody
Ah,
who has been watching us here at WTF Nation Radio and US Army WTF Moments. We are streaming across multiple platforms to include the US Army WTF Moments YouTube channel. If there's a like button on your platform, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you don't, the Hodges win, and we don't want them to win. All right. So make sure that you hit that like button here for all of us that are fans of the show at WTF Nation Radio. And I don't know what's going on with X right now, but X is starting to show us some love. We got 103 viewers over there on X.
hell
Hey,
yeah, X.
we show enough appreciate
I still don't log on to that
it.
damn thing. I'm never going.
Now,
Twitter is X, yeah, nah. But thank you all for watching us out there on X. Love you all. Thank you for being there.
absolutely. Now, I don't think we
Still
covered
here.
this, but world champion Rashee Rice, who had, I guess you would call it, he had a decent year this year. I'm not gonna say he was, somebody to watch out for. And as I'm bringing up his stats here this season, he holds the NFL record for most playoff receptions by a rookie, catching 26 passes during this last Super Bowl run. He got into some trouble here recently. He was a second round pick number 55 out of SMU. He had 79 catches for 738 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not a bad season, especially when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the nation throwing to you. But he's gotten in some off-season
Mm.
trouble. And what's interesting about this is that there's some stuff that I'm starting to read that makes me wonder what the hell are these athletes thinking about? All right. So, what
Mhm.
happened? Well, Rice was the driver, along with some other people and another sports car of a Lamborghini, right? That was involved in a high-speed hit and run crash on North Central Expressway in Dallas about 2 weeks ago. Actually, it was a little bit under 2 weeks ago, March 30th, 2024. And four other vehicles were damaged in what was called a chain reaction collision. It was a Chevrolet Corvette that Rashee Rice was leasing, his Lamborghini, and four other cars. All right. There's video that
Mhm.
TMZ was able to attain that show Rashee Rice and several other people just walking away like, we can't be caught here. But when you're as popular as, he is, all right? Like, he's not I probably if he walked down the street, he might stand out because, he's a tall guy, but outside of that, I wouldn't know him if I saw him. Like, he's not, like, that popular, but, you driving a Lamborghini and end up walking away, cameras are going to come out. All right. Well, two of the people that were involved in some of the other accidents were transported to a hospital and were treated for minor, and others were treated for minor injuries at the scene. I know if I get involved in an accident with somebody driving a Corvette or a Lamborghini, oh, my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. Because look, you can't be broke driving
Oh,
in
yeah.
one of those things.
Completely.
Now, a
Completely.
lot of time has gone by. All right. Rashee Rice has publicly came out admitting that he takes full responsibility for his part in the collision. But my thing is this: had you not been stupid in the first place, none of this would be a story, because what has occurred as well is that there was about 10.8 grams of marijuana that was found in the Lamborghini, which in Texas is a class B misdemeanor, right? You have to understand the laws of the state that you are in when you do dumb shit. Okay. Now, 10.8 grams is approximately 0.38 ounces. So, not enough to be considered a felony in Texas, but still an issue nonetheless. And it has me wondering, man, with the amount of eyes that are already on you. Like, if you're driving down Texas, I remember one time this nice Corvette shot right past me. And when you have that type of sports car, you're gonna look and go, "Oh man, that's nice." And then if that same car gets into an accident, lights, camera, action is about to start jumping off. So why are you doing dumb shit to begin with, man? When would these athletes ever learn, coach? Did we lose coach? Did we lose me? We might have lost me. So what I try no, we might have lost coach. So we're trying to figure out if he's able to get his audio and stuff back on. Yep. He just dropped out. So he's probably about to pop back in. I don't get it. I don't understand why these athletes just can't learn that all eyes are going to be on them. Like Tupac, all eyes on me. Eyes are going to be on them. Yet they keep making these dumbass decisions. And I'm like, look, hire me. Hire me to be your right hand man, right? Because I'm not going to allow you to lose us money, right? While at the same time still be like, hey, look, have fun, but you got to know what you can and can't do. As if coach is back. Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, did I switch computers with Kaz? What the hell?
Hey, you're back, and hopefully there's not a delay as well. So, what do you think about this incident, and why is it that athletes can't figure out that they can't do the regular dumb shit that us average people can do and get away with it?
All right. Well, the walking away and going away from the scene of the accident, yeah, that was pretty damn stupid, but it's also a common reaction, especially if you're somebody who feels like they should not be here. So I can understand his thought of action, and I definitely don't condone it. But that also being said, I can see why this person would not think that that much would be considered illegal. Because what you just said was that was what 0.38. So maybe they
Yep.
had a little, so that was a half an ounce. Half an ounce of marijuana isn't all that much.
Nope.
Let's be quite honest, okay?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the state of Texas, much like the state of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and other states around there, are definitely a little bit behind the times on the marijuana laws. But you have to know the state that you're in. Let's be quite honest. We just went off on the same daggone thing multiple times about Brittany Griner when she brought marijuana over to daggone Russia and was held in Russia. There were so many people worried that, oh God, blah, 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 blah. Let's just not go down that rabbit hole. But if we're going to hold her to the same standard, we need to hold this guy to the same standard. He knew what the hell he was doing. He knew that that marijuana would be considered a felon, what a Mr. Class B misdemeanor, but it was still inside there. But the main thing is you walked away from it to try to save your ass. And in this day and age of social media, you should know everybody's got a camera. So shit's going to
Everybody.
be put at. Yeah, that's his own damn fault, and he deserves the moron of the day award. You're a moron. That's what I
W-
got to tell you, buddy. You're a moron.
We should have that. I know that the guys over at Power 106, they do something called the Donkey of the Day. We should have something very similar to that because every week in the world of sports, somebody does something ignorant. So we should have that as a segment. The Moron of the Day award goes to Rashee Rice. Now look,
No, I think we got to come up with something like a little bit catchier, like you're ignorant ass or you dumb ass. I don't know, you moron.
something.
Moron of
Hey,
the week, yeah. Moron of the week, moron of the day. Fuck. You
we'll
know
figure
what?
it out.
Maybe we should put a poll up there on the page and see if we can cross post it. Let's figure out the new segment, moron of the day. Give us something for something stupid for somebody for an idiot athlete.
Exactly. Now, hey, hold on. Producer, zoom in on me. Look, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of weed, in my opinion. If you are going to partake in the devil's lettuce, go to your destination and partake in the devil's lettuce. Don't have it on you or transport it with where you're going because a lot of things can occur. All right. So, athletes that might watch this show, because we get athletes that watch the show, don't do dumb shit like transport it with you. Get to your destination, then smoke up. All right.
Yes, yes,
It's not that hard.
absolutely. And then go on Facebook Live and produce a show after you do it.
Man,
And to every single one of you, the other hosts that are listening, shut the fuck up. You do it too.
I'm like, I ain't gonna say no names, but
Wednesdays.
watch the Wednesday show. That's all I'm saying. Watch the Wednesday show. You know, I'm glad to have that show back, man. I'm
Yes.
definitely glad to have that back. I tune in to the other shows on times that I can, and
Want to
definitely
segue
glad to
this
have that
into
back.
our mandatory little briefing we got to do, and then go back to the last topic.
You know what? Sure, let's do it. But before we do, we got Nikki in the building said, "What up? Hey, I appreciate you popping in over there on Facebook. Thank you very much." And Richard Bronco said, "What up, King and Coach? Hey, glad to have you pop in, Rich.
What's up,
Uh,
Nikki? How the hell are you?
hey, what I missed, you missed all the things. Coach had a rant. Coach definitely
Yeah,
had a rant
definitely go back.
that occurred. All
Oh,
right, but
Nikki's heard some of my rants. I've gone on epic tirades.
yeah.
I think I once went on a tirade where I ended it with Michelle Obama's penis. That's how I ended up. Yeah,
I have to find
yeah,
that.
that definitely didn't get us zucked, did it? Yet? Nope, we're still on the air. Good.
All right. Well, coach,
Mhm.
I'm going to put this up on the screen and you already know what to do. So knock it out the ballpark, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you live 6 nights a week on U.S Army W.T.F Moments and W.T.F Nation Radio across Facebook, YouTube, Kick, and X. And to everybody that's watching us out there on X, love y'all out there, even though I hate that platform. But regardless, when we come to you live 6 nights a week, we kick it off every Sunday with us at the sports bar. And then we move on to Monday, where Massey and Ice will be catching you up on what is happening around the world with our Monday edition. Move on to Tuesday with our boys CQ and Mad Mike on Pop Culture Warrior. In fact, this week, you definitely want to take a look at it because if I am correct, or is that the 16th? They are going to have Orlando Jones on there. If you guys don't remember Orlando Jones from 20 years ago, just got 4 words for you. Make 7 up yours. Yes, I think pretty sure you remember that right now. Nikki, I'm glad that you got a lot. You can't complain. You got a lot to be grateful for. And you know what? We're grateful that on Wednesdays the smoke pit is back, and I'm grateful that you're doing okay. But yes, we're also grateful that Radar and TZ are back, lighting it up, smoking and joking over on the smoke pit every Wednesday. 2-hour bullshit session, just a show about absolutely nothing but the most fun 2 hours you will have on a Wednesday night because they don't broadcast fucking live sports unless you've got some damn stupid streaming channel like Facebook. And then on Facebook, we also have our great show of Sergeant's Time, where we talk about what is happening in and around the United States military, veterans affairs, and everything dealing with the U.S. Center of Mold Excellence that we have, and as well, by the way, download Hots and Cots, hotsandcots.app, I believe is the thing that's on there. If not, go to the U.S. Army WTF Nation Radio Facebook page and the U.S. Army WTF Moments page, and go ahead and download that Hots and Cots. Phenomenal thing. You definitely want to do that before Thursday. And now I'm not getting paid this Friday, so that means Kaz is back on. Pookie, we miss you, buddy. We understand. Not a problem, man. We love you. But Kaz, man, and we love you too, buddy. No show's going to be coming up, and definitely want to check out Kaz and his messed up computer every Friday on Friday, or every other Friday on Friday Night Freedom. Once again, we come to you live 6 nights a week at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. And because we had to go forward in time, we are now 5 hours. So that's 3 p.m. over there in Hawaii. And for Leo, regardless of where you watch us from, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Kick, or whether it be on Twitter, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, retweet, do all that great social media bullshit. Please do that. We love you all for doing it. Let's go ahead and wrap this show up with our final topic, King. What do you say?
Hey man, thank you for that. Now, I'm also hearing from one of our technical producers that they've been commenting on the WTF Nation Radio Facebook page and sent me the comments, but I am not seeing it either through Restream
Oh.
or through Facebook
You know
at
what? I
all.
don't think. All right, so we got to get that. We got to get that one hooked up because I have not been on the page. Give me a second. We do have some. Well, I know Mr. Carrasquillo mentioned us. Give me a second.
Yeah, and he's the
Oh, he
one.
has some. He has some. He popped some culture edibles.
Where
Mr.
did it
My
post that?
friend CQ did that. It's on the Sports Bars live stream. So Mike
Oh,
Carrasquillo is
the
on that
sports.
one of our
Okay,
boys,
yes,
CQ.
yes.
You wouldn't
So
last a week as one of these guys' assistants. You're too honest. They want yes men. I wonder who the hell he's talking about. Ding dong of the week with the sound effect. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Hey, CQ, thanks for letting us know this one. So, a little bit of correction. There is not going to be a Pop Culture Warrior this Tuesday, but it is on the 16th that Mr. Orlando Jones will be on. So, that will be the next Pop Culture Warrior. Yeah,
okay.
we gotta start looking at that one again. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
that was
yeah,
the
no. So I figured it out, and it's a technical thing because of how I'm bringing in the chats. The restream bot doesn't catch the stuff that's over at the sports bar. We've had
ah,
comments over on the sports bar, and I didn't know it until just now. So I got to figure out how
yeah.
to like get all of that succinctly, put together. But that's a different thing. If our station manager would just let me have the sports bar loaded as one of the channels, this wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, he's got we've got only certain numbers of shows that
Yeah.
warrant enough to have them. Like,
No,
I don't know, a
I
certain
messed
show
up.
on Tuesday that might have that slot that
I
can go
messed up one
live.
time. I messed up. Hold on, nope, coach. I messed up one
By the
time,
way, are we?
and he
By the
lost his
way,
shit.
and on top of that too, we also got to ask him because we also got a YouTube page that hasn't had content in a while that has 500 subs on it already.
Nice.
Yeah.
We figured that out.
Keep on forgetting about that.
All right, so let's close the show with our
Yeah.
last topic. This is going to be quick because I don't have enough to talk about because his career hadn't been that long. Bronny James, named after
Oh,
his dad, LeBron James himself, had a season at USC which started on a bit of a sour note because he had a heart condition, something that I'm familiar with as a young, strapping young lad with heart disease. He had a heart incident occur that derailed his start at the college level. Yet, even when he got everything fixed and he came back, if you take a look at his stats, the young dude didn't really necessarily produce. Yet, because of his name, he's getting, I think, a lot more opportunities that your average college athlete wouldn't necessarily get. So he is declared for the NBA draft as well as put himself into the transfer portal after one season at USC, his freshman season, uh, where he averaged 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and shot 36.6% from the field and 26.7% on three pointers in 25 games. I just don't know how the beat writers, how the powers that be are going to make this work so that LeBron can do what I believe nobody else has done before, which is play on the same team in, in a father and son duo. There's been father and son coaching moments, but I don't think there's ever been a father and son player pool in the NBA. And I'm trying to figure out what team decides to take a chance on that narrative because LeBron, who's the same age as me but worth way more money than I am, is getting old. He the NCAA season itself takes a toll, and when you've played as many seasons as he has, you know your time is coming. What do you think about all of this?
uh, LeBron's not going to play for 2 seasons. This is the only reason why he declared. Bronny James will sign a contract. Bronny James will be an undrafted free agent signing. Bronny James will probably be in the end. What is it? What's it called now?
The NBA?
Whatever that league is. You know what I'm talking about, right?
like the NBA's
Yeah, the G League. The G
G League,
League.
yeah, G
That's
League,
what I was trying to remember because I know it was the D League at one
the
point.
developmental
Yeah,
league, yeah, the G
the
League.
G League. Okay. So he goes down to the G League. He'll get called up by somebody, and sometime during the season, LeBron will play with Bronny. And Bronny James will become like that other mellow kid. What the hell happened to him?
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, yeah. Where's that kid now? The other I don't even know which mellow word which one of them that they have, and I think he was the one who went on the who was on what's it called, who went on the WWE and started dropping the N bombs.
Trying to look at the name, but yeah. I don't see it happening. I think it's a if you're doing that, that's more of an entertainment factor than you're trying to add that 15th person to your
Yeah.
roster to win a championship. You're doing that to help feed into the legacy of LeBron James, who is going to have a lasting impact
Hmm.
into the NBA going forward. Like when you think of the NBA, a lot of people think of Jordan, but when you talk to like what is it, Gen Z, like the folks that are
Yeah.
25 and under now, they don't know David Robinson. They know Shaq and Charles Barkley as those dudes that have an award-winning show called Inside the NBA on TNT. They know them as that. They don't remember how dominant Shaq was, you know.
Yep.
They don't recall watching Jordan and seeing how he plays. And fun fact, I heard a comedian say this. He said he thinks that the athletes of today should brag and say that they would beat a lot of the athletes in the older NBA days because they're just a lot more physical now. Not physical in the game, right? Because the game
Hmm.
I don't think is as physical as it was back then, but they have a more physical body themselves to where they can take that kind of beating. If the game did go there, they could do more of the beating of the older guys than the guys of then could take if they were to face like LeBron and Zion and Jokic and just some of these other bigger players. Like point guards are a lot bigger now than they were 20 years ago.
Hmm.
And he was saying too also, this comedian, that if you go and you take a look at some of your favorite players, they might have done the same one or two dunks. You know, it wasn't your high flying behind the back windmill dunks. Like it was less athletic dunks because maybe they just couldn't do it, right? Like not to say that like it wasn't the style to do flashy dunks back then, but like they were he was saying that some of your the players in the past, they weren't
Hmm.
necessarily as good as you thought they were. They were just good for their era. And I thought that that was an interesting thought.
That's you kind of, how would I put this? Yes, no, but I will say that the players that were in the eras beforehand, you have to recognize the excellence before that. If not, you're absolutely ignorant. So
Mhm.
for those of you, no, and I say it this way because as I look at our thumbnail for tonight, we did not bring up somebody who is on our thumbnail for tonight, and that is the doctor, Julius the Doctor Irvin. Okay, if I'm right, that's what it is, right? Okay, I got to get off of this because yeah, it is no, that's Bronny James, but he's wearing number 6. The
Right.
guy who
Yeah.
wore number 6,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Right.
looked like, all right. Sorry, it looked like Dr. J from the back, and I saw number 6, and it was really freaking low thumbnail on there. That's my fault. Dr. J was the one who originally brought the slam dunk out besides the big men doing it, and he used it as a weapon in the NBA. If it wasn't for the greatness of Dr. J, the greatness of MJ would have never flourished. And if it wasn't for the greatness of MJ, the greatness of Kobe would have never flourished. And if it wasn't for the greatness of Kobe, the greatness of LeBron, or excuse me, I take that back. If it wasn't for the greatness of Bird and Magic, then we wouldn't have had a precedence to set about the greatness of LeBron James. So let's be quite honest. You have to go back into the history to take a look at it. Yes, Wilt Chamberlain at 7'2" in the NBA right now, with how thin he was, would not be dropping would not be dropping 100 and averaging 50 points a game. But at that time, he was the absolute best. Babe Ruth wouldn't be hitting 60 home runs 100 years later, or wouldn't be hitting 60 home runs. Yeah, 61 home runs like Judge did almost 100 years later. Okay, but Judge is doing that right now, and Judge might have gone back. So you have to play with the era, but you have to recognize the greatness of that era and those that stood out before them. And if you dismiss that, that's your ignorance right then and there.
You know what? I'm gonna talk with my assistant here. I'm gonna
Mhm.
look at trying to plan a trip to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in Massachusetts. It's only a 6 hour. It's a 6 hour drive from where I live.
Yep.
That could be uh a day trip. And I took a look over at my assistant and she said, I am all for that.
Heck yes. Heck yes.
So if I'm able to film and get some content, that's what I'm gonna do. I might try to make that happen here in the next 2 months. So I've been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I have been to the College Football Hall of Fame, but I've never been to the Basketball Hall of Fame. So here on the air, we gonna make that happen.
Hell's yes. Hell's yes. And you will absolutely love it up there in Springfield. It would be phenomenal to go all the way up there, man.
We have one comment here by Joey Little on Facebook that said, without precedents, current players would only stand to be even greater.
He's got a point there.
I
He's
agree.
definitely got a point because the current players would definitely be better. And I also give it up to the evolution of society right now. Let's go
Mhm.
back to the 100 years that has passed from the time of Babe Ruth to the time now of, let's give it an equivalent of Shohei Ohtani. Babe Ruth was not ever trained in the same manner or brought up in the same manner of athleticism or healthcare for that matter that Shohei Ohtani had throughout his entire life. So, Babe Ruth as a pitcher and as a hitter, while eating hot dogs, drinking beer, fucking broads left and right, probably having chlamydia before anybody else did, might have even invented syphilis itself, but was loved by absolutely everybody, and came out and hit home runs that had to go out of the stadium to be counted as a home run. By the way, it also counted if it bounced out of the stadium, but that's a different point for a different time. Let's be quite honest right there. You put that in, then you give, I don't know, you give Babe Ruth HGH, and Babe Ruth might be hitting 70 right now. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it goes both ways. That's why I say you have to recognize what those people would be today. Wilt Chamberlain wouldn't be the same today, and Jokic would be as great as Wilt Chamberlain was, if not better and dominating. But the way that they grew up and the way that athletes are today versus way the shit even the athletes in the 70s were, we'll go back 50 years. We had guys in even in the early 80s, if you ever watched Showtime, about the Lakers. There were people smoking in the freaking in the locker room. Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing used to smoke Newports over in Madison Square Garden. I kid you not.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the athletes right now. None of them would. I would dare right now, even as funny as it is to see LeBron right now with the do rag and the cool in his ear. I would dare you to see if any of these people actually ever smoke any type of tobacco product,
Yeah.
plain and simple, from even 30 years ago. So the athletes of today are much better geared, tuned specifically for whatever sport that they are trying to play, and grew up not having to worry about the other methodologies, but to play that game instead of being a person and playing that game. like many of those did in generations much past.
I agree. I agree. And that was a very good stamp to put on that, coach. And as always, man, I appreciate your insight, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Not a problem at all.
Here's how we're going to end tonight's show. I am going to display on the screen the path of the solar eclipse that is going to occur tomorrow. And I'm going to offer some insight for the Marines that might be on this path right here. Do not have a stare up into the sky contest at the solar eclipse tomorrow night to prove that you're more of a badass than the person next to you. Please don't make that happen. To the Army people here in Texas, because look, this is going over a lot of Army bases. San Antonio's got the Air Force base that's there, Killeen, Dallas. What's this? Little Rock. Man, this is primary. This is like an Army base hunting ground of let's see what idiots we can blind. To our veterans, don't
Ah,
look up without proper eye protection. That's your safety brief for this week. Coach, do you have
man,
anything else to add?
I will tell you that it's going to be kind of cool tomorrow to see this. And just for everybody else and for all of the other co-hosts, I will end it by saying this, or my last words. If you guys cannot see the solar eclipse tomorrow, check your glasses, because you might not be staring at the clips. You might be staring at Uranus.
Doo-doo. I absolutely love it. Well, hey, to our viewers and listeners out there, this has been another episode of the Sports Bar here at WTF Nation Radio. I want to give a big thanks to everybody that has tuned in and left comments and stuff as well. Those of y'all that do catch the replay, because we do have replay gang in the building, I'm thankful for that as well. If there's a like button on your platform, hit that like button as well. God happened to me said, yes, I am a handsome young man, my love. You know what? Thank you, babe. I appreciate the public displays of affection that you shower me with here on this live stream. I'm the actual King Smith. That's Coach. Wait, that's Coach. We'll be back next week with another live stream here at the Sports Bar at WTF Nation Radio. Tune in tomorrow night as our station manager, boss man himself, Ice, hits you with the live edition of the Monday night edition here at WTF Nation Radio. We are out. Peace.